Hey guys, 23rd of June. We got a kind of a hazy day out there. Not too much direct sunlight. Breezy, very breezy again. So it's kind of nice. It's nice weather. Want to go back onto the bike again. Last night after dark, I took it for a nice run. Just for my first big night ride on it. The headlight on it is fantastic. I got it adjusted where it's not blinding people. You do have to watch out here with getting blinded, though. What I do on the night rides, I'll use the bubble shield, or even on glasses, I'll put just a piece of tape over it right here so that I can hide behind that. And you can still see all my helmets that I had the face shield, all of them were full face before this one. I always had a piece of electricity tape or something in there, and then you can hide behind that. Plus, you can hide it it's like a sun visor, but you can still see out real good. I actually have leave a spot over the top, so if I need to look up for anything for a light if I'm close, that's just one of the things that I've always done. It works great for me. I put it on the inside so it doesn't get messed up by rain or anything, and that's the way I do it. But the lights on the bike are really good. They're plenty bright. I might go with LED for the side markers so that those are a little bit brighter. I'd like those to be brighter. I like the reflectors on it. I'm probably going to even do some reflective tape on it, if I can find a 3M. Here they sell this reflective tape. Comes from China, and I have it on stuff. You get it in the sun, it's wore out in no time. It fades, it doesn't work. It's not really all reflective. I had on my Harley, I actually got some black tape that in the daylight you couldn't see it. You hardly noticed it. It looked like a weird pinstriping. And I also had orange on there. Like racing stripes on the one side from the fender all the way through the tank, and on the back fender, all reflective. It was 3M stuff. I'd love to get some more 3M, but I can't seem to find it here. I'll keep looking. Maybe I can get somebody to send it. That would be really cool. But put some stuff on Facebook about what's going on here in the country. You can look at it. Grandpa Blogger put out another good one. Scroll down on the Facebook and find that. Things happen here. It's change here is like daily. You never know what's going to happen, and each place has its own. I've said before, it's a patchwork here. Know that if you come. It's just how it is. You have to do the best you can. Most of the time, though, when you run through these checkpoints in the police, if you're reasonable with them, they're going to be reasonable right back. The people on the ground here are the ones you're going to be interacting with, and it's usually not too much trouble. I don't know about up in Manila or anything like that, but down around here, they're nice guys. So you go through the checkpoint, they're grinning, they're smiling. They're looking for stolen bikes, because bike theft here is very high. One thing I did notice, though, from PNP reports, if you have a big bike, they're not really stolen here. There's one fellow that lives here. He's got the key in the ignition, leaves it there. I've seen it. He just says, I don't worry about it. They're not going to steal it. Nobody steals it. Most of them can't get on them, for one thing. They're not super tall folks, but nobody really bothers them. The big bikes, they just don't steal them. There's no reported thefts of those. And there's quite a few of them out here. Mostly it's Filipinos on weekend rides. The one thing they do is just like in the States, they take the exhaust off. They say, oh, it's better. But I'll be honest with you, I'm driving in the car. I'm always watching my mirrors. I see them coming. I never hear them until they get right beside me, and then you just get blasted with noise. And somebody who's not paying attention like I am isn't going to be prepared for that and get scared of that. That's going to scare them. So I don't believe that the loud pipes save lives. I just not buying that. I've kept my bikes real quiet. The one thing I've seen that I think really helps is where you get those strobe headlights that I've seen in the States. I didn't have it on my the two main headlights on there, but I had flashers like the airplanes. It was a xenon strobe that I bought, and that I had that on the bike. I had a red one in the front, or I mean a white one in the front, and then one red one in the back, up above the plate, and they just strobe. And they're very bright, but it's a super short duration with about a half a second in between. And that, you know, I've had people say, even the cops said, "Boy, we seen you coming a mile away. You know, we really seen you coming." That was, they wanted to know about him. They were talking. The cop stopped me, not to give me a ticket. He just wondered where I got him. He wants to talk to his police force. This was in California, about getting them because they're in danger also. Those guys, you know, they're doing a stealth thing on their bikes now, where you're not sure it's them anymore. Hi, baby. But the night ride was really, really nice last night. It cooled down nice, and not a lot of traffic. You know, the traffic here really dries up, especially when you head towards Padre Garcia. You got to watch for the people pulling out in front of you. I had a tricycle guy pull right out in front of me, but as soon as I seen him coming out not looking, I knew he was coming, guys. I knew he was not looking. His passenger wasn't looking. They were looking to where they're going, and he just pulled right out in front. But I had already been on the brakes, and honestly, if I'd have kept going at speed and stayed in the center of my lane, I'd hit the guy. So, you know, be wary of that. You have to know they're just going to do it. Another thing, hi, handsome. There you go. That's my beautiful curly head Maddie, huh? Yeah. But Jeepneys will just pop right out in front of you too. They don't care, even if they look in the mirror. I've actually seen them to where they looked in the mirror and just came anyway. As long as there's a space, they don't seem to judge speed here. I mean, if you're on a road where they allow 40 kilometers per hour, they'll pull right out in front of you, because either they don't know how to judge speed, or they just don't care. You know, they're doing their job and they're just going to get out there. And know it. Just know it. Especially if you're in traffic, don't get in a hurry, guys. There's no need to be in a hurry, because that's the fastest way to get to the funeral home. We call it the DeLuna effect. We got a mortuary over here, DeLuna's, and I don't want to go there. I've driven past, but I don't want to go there. So you do have to really keep your head on a swivel when you're riding here. I can't stress that enough. I've done videos on it in the past. Battery crept up, new battery. Yeah, I'm back on the bike again, and you know, I do look forward to ride. It's a calculated risk I take, but it is, for me, getting on a motorcycle clears my head. It always has. I mean, if I'm in, you know, I get this back pain, and I do get in bad moods. And one thing that'll make a bad mood disappear on me faster than anything is just jumping on the bike. It's something I like. I'm very busy at it, because I'm watching ahead, I'm watching behind. You do got to constantly check your mirrors, because the guys will shoot up on you from nowhere. They'll pass you in the lane without warning. If I'm going to pass somebody in a lane, I'll come up on them and I'll toot the horn. You know, here they don't use a horn as where you get angry. I know in California, if you toot the horn at somebody, they're flipping your bird, they're hating you, it's like they did something wrong. Here, it's not that way. Don't ever think it's that way. It is just a warning. They're letting you know you're coming. Hi, handsome. Yeah. So there's Tatai. He's come for his coffee today. But a nice fella. But it's not, you know, it's not that way. I'm not blaring on the horn or anything like that. I just give it a toot if I'm coming up, and they'll scoot over, and then I'll come by them at a safe speed. But when you're on a bike, if somebody clipped your handlebar, you're going down. And I've had people shoot past me extremely fast, and if they'd hit, the handlebars would have hit, we'd both went down. It's just what happens. I had a guy, I was crossing the street, and I was standing on the edge of the street, and he came around to pass people and hit me in the hip with his handlebar on the right side, which hit his brake and his handlebar, and left a pretty good purple mark on my hip. I'm glad it hit my hip and not higher, and down they went. Him and his sweetheart went down. I mean, they're just not cognizant of their mortality here when it comes to riding. I mean, they'll drive super fast. I've seen them where they got no front brakes on them. The rotor's gone or something, and they just got something in the caliper, and they run on bald tires. I've seen bikes here that the only thing holding them together is rust. You know, now there's a lot of new ones coming out. People are working here, but things are tough now because of the because of this COVID stuff that's going on. A lot of places are getting shut down. It's a royal shame what's going on, but I still see tons of trucks with a lot of new bikes getting delivered. So, people are getting newer ones, so that's a good thing. Now, some people said, "Oh yeah, but you got drums and those brakes aren't good." Believe me, those brakes are fantastic. They work great. I had a lot of my first bikes I ever had drums on them because I had older bikes. I like them because they're good for mud and everything. They don't get all clogged up like the discs will. But the brakes on this thing are fantastic. They work really good. I haven't hammered them real hard yet because they're still in the break-in process. I don't want to glaze them, but I will take them out, inspect them, and clean them. That's one thing people don't realize you need to do to your drum brakes is I just basically take it off, tap them, get the dust out, blow it if I got a compressor, which I want to get one here very soon. I want to get a pressure washer and a compressor, and then just take it out on the street with a long hose and blow the gook out of it, and just put it back together. I've actually put a little bit of grease on the actuating cylinder. On this one, it's mechanical; it's not hydraulic. And just lube up the linkage. I'm also one for when I change brake pads, I change the springs. That's something that they say you only need to do it every other time, but they're so cheap, I just replace them. And then I got a spare. I got spare springs for whatever I need them for because they're pretty good springs. But once I see the paint's gone off the springs, which is mostly every time from the heat, I get rid of them. I don't play around when it comes to brakes or tires. Like the car, I'm getting ready to replace the tires. They got a lot of tread on them yet, but they got hard already from the years. So I'm on the kind of person where I'll change them on a time limit. Like they say with your oil, every so many thousand kilometers or 6 months. Like with the car. I do the same thing with tires. Once they get so many years on them, I don't think I've ever gone past 3 years. These ones are going to get changed here real soon because they're starting to squeal. If I hit the gas, they'll slip now, and same way with the braking. You're going to lose your braking ability, so they're going to go. Now on this bike out here, these tires are really good. The tires they put them on that came with it, they're good tires. They grip well. By myself, I've done some leaning it over and just seeing how well they grip. They're gripping fine. So if I ever replace them, might be the same ones. If I put a tricycle on it, I might get those big flat ones they sell. Time will tell. We'll see how it goes up down the road. It's all just a matter of money. But if you ride here, you can ride here. Some people are, with kids, I wouldn't ride. Well, I got to ride, guys. It's one of the things I do. Is it dangerous here? Yeah, but it's dangerous as walking across the street here. Dangerous is getting in your car. We came up in Carmona at the intersection going to Southwoods, and a truck was coming down the hill, beeping his horn and flashing his lights because his brakes went out. A big dump truck, and he hit the back of a Jeepney, killed some people, wrecked a bunch of people. It was just havoc over the whole past the intersection. The intersection was open, so we got to drive by, but truck was flipped over on the bridge abutment. The Jeepney was just smashed like it was a pop can, and it was a bad, very bad hit. But you're here till the good Lord says you're not, guys. So you do need to just keep alert in all things. Keep alert in everything. Not just your bike riding, but that's something I take it very seriously. And I think about my rides afterwards. When I was doing a pass last night, I was thinking, I probably shouldn't have done that. Why did I need to do that? I think of all these things. I keep growing as a rider every time I ride. And I started thinking, that probably wasn't the best of idea, because what happened was a tricycle was coming up the road, and I looked ahead, and it looked clear. Well, right as I started in the middle of my pass, and these don't have power like a super bike, he just pulled out, no lights on, no nothing. And I couldn't hit the brake because the cars just pull right up on the guy I was passing, so I had to give her all she got and then cut back in. And I cut back in a little bit close, so you're going to get people riding without their lights on. A lot of motorcycles will just turn them off. They think they're saving gas. I'm not kidding you. It's absolutely ridiculous. One thing about this bike, I'm going to have to kick the idle up a little bit, because if you let it go to idle, the light gets real dim. I don't like that. The idle does sound like it's a little bit low. It says it's supposed to be idling at around 1500. It's not. It's idling lower than that. So that'll be an adjustment I'll let them make. And then if they don't make it, at this first service, I'm going to ask them why. Why didn't you make this? But I'll be going in around the 7th or so. I talked to a girl the other day. She said, no, you don't have to make an appointment. Just come in. And they don't always seem too busy there. Their shop, it's not like the motor trade I did in Binion. My goodness, that one's always busy. They got guys who are working like crazy in there, because they sell a lot more bikes, I believe. But I'm gonna let you go. Don't be afraid of riding here. You can do okay. Just watch your mirrors. I think sometimes the biggest danger for a rider is what's coming up from behind, because they don't care about passing. You'll get 2 or 3 bikes come past you, one on one side and 2 on the other, fast. I don't know what the hurry is. Maybe they're on their way to DeLuna's. I don't know. But take care. Pray that the good Lord rides with you all the time. And this is Rick Shaw, out.